Ultraviolet, Boom Turbulence, Midas Touch Recordings. Why don't you Google me? Just Google me, just Google me. Why don't you Google me? Just Google me, just Google me. Well, you try acting bad, voice step through like Jack the Lad. Captain had slapped him back, wrapped him back. Well, you try acting bad, well, you try acting bad, voice step through like Jack the Lad. Captain had slapped him back, wrapped him back. I'll just slap your dad. Why don't you Google me? Just Google me, just Google me. Why don't you Google me? Just Google me, just Google me. Why don't you Google me? Just Google me, just Google me. Why don't you Google me? Just Google me, just Google me. Why don't you Google me? Just Google me, just Google me.
This is KUGAN CASSIUS. We're at David HAYE's gym here in Vauxhall for his 4th signing that he's done. The 3rd one here in London.
Yep.
It's been a long day.
It's been a long day. It's been a long day, but it's been a worthwhile day. Had no coffee, no Red Bulls, no stimulants to keep me going. So it was just the thrill of the fans coming through and meeting everybody. They got me through it. But I'm happy. I'm here. Got to the end of it and very happy. Very happy.
It's like 7 o'clock. I mean, you was here at 8:30.
Yeah.
I was here at 8 o'clock, half hour earlier than you actually. But all day, all I've just kept popping back, and all I've seen you is literally doing that.
Standing away.
And then standing for photos.
Yeah.
But listen, it's a good thing because it's been encouraged. I've said it to other boxers before, they should do it. Mm-hmm. You do it, so this is a chance to give back people that have come and paid to watch you around the world, basically.
Yeah, the people that I'm meeting here are not just random people who've just find out who I am. The wait early doors was around 5 or 6 hours. People were waiting. There was a guy here waiting from 1:30 a.m. To be first in line. These people have travelled, all over the world to support me. Paid flights, hotels. Really done their bit to come and support me. So the least I can do is open up my gym and sign their fight ticket for them. I've been signing loads of value-add fight tickets, Klitschko fight tickets, Chisora fight tickets, T-shirts, gloves, memorabilia. I've been signing all types of stuff for people. And it just puts a big smile on someone's face, the fact that they've been following me and they get a chance to meet me and have a chat with me, and that's why the wait so long. Because when someone comes through, you want to have a chat with them, find out what fights they've been to, and have a talk to them. But everyone, although it was a bit of a long wait for people, I didn't hear any complaints about it. Everyone seemed very happy that they got their memorabilia signed and they got a picture, and there's some ice cream, and they'll get free ice cream. Lucozades, we're giving out water. Just trying to make it as comfortable for the fans as possible. Obviously, everybody gets a signed picture, and so it's not like they come in here they have to spend anything. They can come here. People will come in here today. Some kids obviously come in here. They'll get ice creams and food and drink, and they get something nice and signed. They get a professional picture that they can download for free online. So it's I feel like it's trying to give something back to the fans.
I've asked ultimately a bit of a ridiculous question to people. I've been asking them about your fight with Tyson Fury and what do they think is going to happen, but they're all your fans that have come here, so they're all going to say be a bit biased. But what have they been saying to you as they've been coming and shaking your hand about this Fury fight and how big it is?
I don't think I can say it on camera what they've been saying, but it's not very nice for Tyson Fury. Everybody wants to see him get not only beaten. That's the thing. It's not, David, can you beat Tyson Fury? No. They want me to really do him some serious damage. They really want to see him twitching on the canvas. It's a bit harsh, but that's what people like. Women, girls coming up to me, David, please, I'm so sick of hearing this guy talking this and saying this, and you got to teach him a lesson. So come September 28th, unfortunately, my friend Mr. Fury, his unbeaten reign will come to a violent end.
The ringside was very interesting between yourself and Adam, Mick, and Tyson.
Good episode.
It was good where they put you with Mick and vice versa with Adam and Tyson. So it was, and then they brought you two together. But I mean, Tyson pretty much carried on where he left off in the press conference and yabbering on. You could say. And is it baffling listening to Tyson Fury sometimes?
No, it's not baffling. A couple of times I wanted to try to put him right on some of the stuff that he was saying that was incorrect. But as I started to talk, he was talking over me, and then you think to yourself, no matter what I say here, he's just going to carry on ranting. So let him rant. Wait until he's finished ranting, say my little bit, and ideally, come fight night, the fist do the talking. All that yibber yabbing doesn't mean anything when that first bell rings. When he comes out, he's either going to try and jab and move and use his reach, or he's going to try and do that silly thing where he puts his hands up and waits for you to stop punching and try and do something to try and impose his size. You can either do one of both things. Either way, no matter what he does, he's going to get knocked out.
What did you make of him not wanting to do the head-to-head, the traditional head-to-head as he put?
Just because he's scared. Plain and simple.
Wasn't it sarcastic responses from him that he was scared?
He wasn't scared, sarcastic. I could see his legs was trembling. I could see his hands shaking. His hands were sweaty. I could see it from across the room. You know, I could literally see his heart beating through his top. If he's here, if he's standing there, chilled, cool, calm. If you look at me, my pulse was, I had a resting heart rate. So this guy doesn't strike any fear into me. But you know, the guy was fidgeting the whole time, got up, clowning around, like, oh, I'm scared. He's just a big child. He's like a big kid.
Do you know, before this fight was announced, the press conference that used to put things out on Twitter about what two fighters would make the best press conference, and people used to say David and Tyson Fury. But from that press conference, obviously Tyson, we spoke about this in the interview before, was saying whatever Tyson knew was for you quite a little bit reserved.
Yeah. But normally the guys that I'm fighting, you know, I've got a little bit more respect for their sort of boxing pedigree than what he's done. You know, I don't believe that he's fought anybody anywhere close to my level. He's never fought a big puncher. You know, he's never fought anyone who can hit him with one shot and put him down. Yet he somehow believes getting knocked down by Steve Cunningham was some sort of fluke, and knocked down by the other guy before, I don't even know who he is. So he hasn't take that into consideration. He just thinks, okay, I was just about to lose against Chisora. That was his whole argument. You know, against Chisora, I was just about to lose. I was just about to, and then I knocked him out. Okay, everybody's game plan when they're fighting me is get me into the second half of the fight. Everybody, John Ruiz, we got to get David into the second half of the fight. Okay, he got me into the second half of the fight. What happened? Fragameni, same thing. A high-paced fight. That's it. Push him again. Same thing with Klitschko. Well, once David goes past 5 rounds, he's getting knocked out. Everybody just thinks same thing with Valiev. Every time I fight, it's always, if I go past the halfway point, my engine's going to blow up, because it always does. But I think, how many years ago was it when you saw me so out of breath I couldn't punch back, I couldn't defend myself? So I think it was 9 years ago now, nearly 10 years ago. So people are trying to work on the same blueprint of when I lost to Carl Thompson, you know, in 2004. So if people want to go by that, then crack on. It's quite fun. I find it quite amusing, but you know, every fight, no one ever goes, okay, right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go out there and blast David out in the first round because he's got no chin. And no one ever tries that. Hopefully he does. That'd be nice if he actually comes out and starts swinging. But he's going to come out, and I reckon he's going to do an Audie Harrison. I reckon he's going to come out and try and keep it long. Everyone's told him, get me into the second half of the fight. Audie's plan was to get me into the second half of the fight. That was it. He's going to do the same thing, but how do you get me into the second half of the fight without getting knocked out? How does that happen? What do you need to do to get me into round 7, 8, 9 without taking a whole heap of beatings? I don't know. But we'll see. It can be interesting while he's standing up.
I know you won't want to contemplate this, but if you was to lose to Tyson Fury, would you retire? Would you retire from boxing?
I wouldn't even consider. As you said, you're right. I wouldn't consider that.
Listen,
it's
all possibilities.
It's not happening.
Full stop.
Full stop. No, it's not happening. It's not happening at all. So I'm not even going to worry about.
I know you.
What you can say is, I might not knock him out spectacularly in the first round or second round. I might knock him out in round 5 or 6, or I might take a couple of rounds off and do a bit of showboating on for the fans for a few rounds. I don't know what I do. None of the strategies end with me losing. That's for damn sure.
Okay. Your training camp. You was in the south of France recently, I believe.
Yeah,
I see some Instagram pictures. Obviously, seeing yourself lavish meals, etc., etc. I didn't see any training pictures, but I saw you having decent food. I know. You
know, I'm in good shape. I'm always in good shape. There's no secret. No matter where I am in the world, I always make sure there's a gym close. So I'm always ticking over.
What's the plan for you between now then, and how does your training camp work between now and obviously a couple of weeks before the fight?
As usual, just do training, running, punching, jumping, skipping, weight training, usual circuits. Just do my usual thing. Standard thing. I don't go and do anything. I'm not have to reinvent the wheel here. It's not. I don't have Pernell Whitaker in front of me, do I? Or the guy's just a big guy. He's a big strong guy who's going to walk at me. He's got quite long arms and a short body. So he kind of he blocks up and he protects a lot of his body. So he probably feels quite safe when he's in fights. Does this, but he's never fought anyone as accurate as me. And when he does that, I can hit him all around here, up here, around here. There's so many gaps that big, sluggish heavyweights can't hit because he wears head guard and big gloves in sparring. Come fight night though, them gaps that the sparring partners can't get into, that's my speciality, finding them gaps.
Final question about Tyson Fury. Is there any danger of you underestimating Mr. Fury?
I don't underestimate anybody. I'm expecting him to be twice as fast, twice as strong, come at me twice as hard, move away from me twice as fast. I'm expecting him to do all the things. I'll be training to fight someone better than Vladimir Klitschko is. As far as I'm considered, I'm not looking at him as fighting some big, chubby, 6'9", doughy heavyweight who's got no coordination. No, what's the point in doing that? Because how do I motivate myself for that? I'm training to fight Vladimir or Vitaly Klitschko. In my mind, I'm training like I'm fighting them. Because if I'm trying to fight someone like Tyson Fury, I'm not going to be very motivated because it just seems too easy. But I'm going to train to fight someone. I'm trying to fight Vladimir or Vitaly Klitschko. So the time and speed that I need to evade their punches and to counter them is going to slide onto this guy real easy, real fast, and you're going to see a spectacular. Because he's quite tough. I think he's got a big heart. I genuinely think he's quite a rough, tough guy. He comes from a travelling background, so he's got that inherent toughness. He's got that steel. He's got a lot of pride, and I'm expecting him to come. I'm expecting a nice six-pack in this fight. He never had a six-pack in the past, but I expect him. His family are going to really. They know what's at stake for him. They know how important this is for him. He's got an intelligent family around him who are going to really get him to buckle down, and you're going to see him in his physical peak. And I think he's 24 years old. He's a young guy. He's hungry. He's full of he's all pumped up, and it should be. Hopefully, he can last a few rounds. Hopefully, he can give the good fans in Manchester a good night's entertainment. I hope he doesn't come out and do. For instance, if he comes out and fights the way he did against Steve Cunningham, the shots that Steve Cunningham was hitting him with, I think you don't have to be a genius to work out he'll be knocked out unconscious really, really quick in like 35 seconds. But he's not that dumb, I don't think. He's not the smartest tool in the box, but he's not that dumb that he thinks that he can just walk at me like he did against Steve Cunningham. Because he got put down against Steve Cunningham. Cunningham can't punch. No one, everybody knows this. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Moving on to your stablemate, George Groves, who's been made mandatory for Carl Froch's IBF title as well as his WBA title later on this year. Your honest opinion, is George Groves ready for Carl Froch?
Well, we will find out very soon.
In your opinion, though?
In my opinion,
right now,
I believe he's ready. I believe a lot of people feel it's too soon because George hasn't beaten anyone in a level of Carl, but there are not too many people in the level of Carl. Carl's in the elite level. So who can George fight? Was he going to go and fight Andre Ward or then other world title fights? There's nobody else he could fight really, other than someone like Kessler. But Kessler's not going to fight, in a non-title fight, an up-and-comer as dangerous as George. So there's only one way to prove if you're good enough. Going into the fight against myself, going into the fight against Jean-Marc Mormec, I hadn't proven that I was good enough to beat Mormec. I'd never beaten anyone close in the league of the people that Mormec had been beaten. He had the resume. He was unbeaten pretty much in 10 years. I'd never beaten anyone. But I knew I had it. I knew it was my time. I knew he was, he wasn't in his prime. So it was the perfect time for me to go out there and showcase what I could do. And it worked out for me. I believe, George could be in a similar situation. If he gets it right on the night. I think both of the guys have the capabilities to beat each other. If George applies the wrong game plan, the wrong tactics, he could come unstuck. All it takes is one shot from Carl because he's such a heavy hitter and he's got such a great chin, work rate. He's a consummate professional inside and out. So he's there for 12 rounds, guaranteed, throwing bombs from start to finish. So one thing George will need to be in the best shape he's ever been in by far, and he'll need to stick to his game plan because if he strays from that and starts copping big shots, he could have a hard night. Also, Carl Froch has been outboxed at times by someone like Jermaine Taylor. He had spells in Jermaine Taylor right where it wasn't in control. So he's shown that he can be outboxed, and George at the moment is a very good boxer. So I think you got the boxing skills against the fighting skills. So it's just a matter of how it gels. It could go either way. Obviously I've been with George since the start, since he turned professional. And even before he turned professional, was working with him. So I believe if he's ever going to win a world title, you know, it'll be now. You know, and Carl's won world titles numerous times. He's been there, he's done it. How much has he got left? You know, has he given too much in these mega fights? He's had some fantastic fights. You know, Kessler, Abraham, you know, Ward. You know, the list just goes on and on and on. He fought the best by far. I've never known any other British fighter to fight people in succession as tough as he has. And how many times can you go to the well? How many times before you go to the well and there's not as much fluid in there as there used to be? You never know. You know, it could be when he gets in against George. It might not be. Maybe he's better than ever. Maybe they was his warm-up fights for his fights now. Maybe he's going to go there and knock out Andre Ward, and who knows? That's why this fight's a close fight. You've got someone who's been there, done it, not sure how much he's got left, and you've got someone who's unproven, but I believe has the potential to get to the top. You know, and it's going to be a very, very, very interesting fight. George will be a huge underdog, huge underdog, because everybody knows Carl. Nobody knows what George has got yet. He's unproven. But I've seen George behind closed doors. I've sparred with George. I know what he's made of, and I'm very, very excited by this fight. As a boxing fan, as someone who's not emotionally attached, because I'm good friends with Carl. I've been on vacation with Carl. You know, same thing with George. I'm good friends with both of them, and it's just two good friends are going to get in there and have a fight. And obviously, I want the best man to win. I don't want no controversy. I don't want no cuts. I don't want no low blows, no fouls, no technical decisions. I want a nice, clean victory, one way or another, and let the best man win.
I sent a tweet out the other day and said, "What's the bigger fight out of your fight with Fury and Carl's fight with George?"
Carl and George bigger than my fight.
Really?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Well, I just said the response I had was split, so it was 50-50. But
you got yourself a genuine world title fight there. This ain't a world title fight, me and Tyson Fury. That's
public interest, though.
The public interest in my fight would be bigger, but as a boxing fan, as a hardcore boxing fan, Carl and George, that's your two of the best fighters on the planet going at it. You know, I'm one of the best fighters on the planet. Tyson Fury hasn't proven that yet. We're just going to find out now how good he is. You know, so he's very untested. But I definitely believe Carl and George is for me. I'll be more excited about that fight than my own fight. To be honest, I can't wait for my fight to be out of the way so I can focus on that fight. To be honest.
And just in a word, do you think FROCH versus Groves is pay-per-view?
Hell yeah, no doubt about it. The amount of pay-per-view fights we've seen over the years, none of them as interesting as this one. Definitely 100% pay-per-view. Carl Froch is pay-per-view. You know, look what he's done. Look at his fight with Kessler. I was there. I was ringside. I was working for Sky at the time. But I was one of the pundits, and it was a mega event. It was a pay-per-view event. This one will be just. This one will probably be bigger because more people know Carl now after that fight. You know, so it's going to be absolutely mega.
And just the final thing, Anthony Joshua just turned professional, someone you know very well. So a wise decision from him, and obviously turning over with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom as well.
Yeah, I think it's a fantastic decision. You know, if there's anything, he should have made that same decision a year ago, straight away. You know, he could have had 5 or 6 fights by now. But he's done it. He's done it the right way. He went around. I know he talked to everybody. He got as much advice from myself, obviously Lennox Lewis. You know, I know he's spoken to everybody, and he came to a conclusion that he was comfortable with, he was happy with, and that's all you can ask with. You know, he's got all the tools to get there to be the next heavyweight champ. You know, he's got the size. You know, he's got the natural athleticism. The coordination. You know, he's a very, very good prospect, and I think if he takes it nice and steady, you know, and does things correctly, I think. Matchroom will steer him in the right direction, and he give it 4 years, no doubt about it. You know, he'll be nice and mature, he'll be nice and strong, and I see him going on to do big things in the heavyweight division.
All right, well listen, David, like I said, it's been a long day, so I know you probably, I don't know what you're doing now actually. I'm going to York Hall myself.
What's happening down there?
There's a show on down there. Johnny Eames has got a show on down there.
Who's fighting?
Ian Bailey and Dan Naylor topping the bill, and then there's a lot of young prospects like Tommy Martin and Freddie Turner. So
long day for you then, isn't it?
Long day for me, indeed.
Long day for you, yeah. I'm gonna go sleep.
You going to bed?
Yeah, I'm going to bed.
I don't blame you. Right. Well, have you got any closing comments, Mr. Hay?
Closing comments. Make sure you add me on Twitter at Mr. David Hay, and keep up to date with all the latest goings on in the world of the Haymaker.
Alright, this is KUGAN CASSIUS with David HAYE here at the Haymaker Gym for iForm London. Thank you very much.